Well, a very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome into 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks. A lot of teams coming back from fall break. Week 9 is upon us, and we're right smack in the dab of the stretch run, guys. Joe, Scott, Cam, it's the core 4 tonight. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
It is kind of spooky season almost. It's well done. Almost
Yeah, just about there, yeah.
Got your Vincent Price impression there.
I wish.
God, I'm so happy the Brewers knocked out the Cubs. So happy.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. Man, we're taking shots early. We're not even a minute in.
Go Mariners.
There we go.
I third that one.
And that's a Blue Jays fan, so.
Yeah, it ought to be fun. I think that first pitch is just around the corner, so hopefully we can get done in time for me to watch the second half of that game. All right, guys, let's get started. A lot of teams back off of fall break, so we have a bigger schedule this week. But even though we had, I think, around 25 games last week, we still had some pretty fun results. And let's talk about that Thursday night all-timer, Joe, that you guys managed to witness over at Antioch.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was game of the year, game of the last, I don't know, man. I was talking to Jess about it when we were driving to Shiloh on Saturday, and I was like, man, you know, you don't get games like that often. Like, you get some good games, you get really good games, but to get a game like that happens every couple of years, and I mean, it lived up to the hype, and everybody's complaining, oh, defense didn't exist in that game. Shut up. Just shut up. It's not that defense didn't exist in that game. It's that both offenses performed at such a high clip. And there were defensive. Antioch got some really big defensive stops in that game that really built up that lead. Yeah, I mean, literally opening play of the game. But Andre Adams did his thing. Brandon Galladay did his thing. Mike Hassel went off. If it wasn't for those two, I mean, Mike Hassel won the weekend. So it was.
Yeah.
I mean, game. It was amazing.
If there wasn't any defense, how did Antioch force 3 turnovers? You know,
a great defensive play ended the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game, and it was one of those games. It's kind of weird. In the second half, you know, Antioch had that game at 29 points, almost a running clock at one point, and they're down 29. And we're walking the sideline, and I look at Joe and I said, "This thing ain't over yet." And he goes, "Definitely not." And then the next thing you know, we're right there at the end, and you know there's a 2-point try to send it to OT. Unfortunately for FRA, they couldn't overcome the turnovers, and I think Coach Geisinger understands that, and he's not happy that they lost, but that game can help them a lot going forward.
Yeah, I think we were over on the sidelines over at Hillsborough, Scott, and just shaking your heads at that one because we were wishing we were there, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, we were both. Wait a minute, how did we get this game? Is I think what we were thinking.
They stole all the points that we should have had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, I'm going to say it's time. If you're going to crown him. Crown him right now.
Well, it's just like there was a comment made on a high school football platform about the competition in 6A Mr. Football, and you know somebody that might or might not be in this video call right now said that it's a wrap. Andre Adams hit him with a Vince Carter on Thursday night, and it's over.
Yeah, we've had some Mr. Football injustices over the last couple of years. This will be the most egregious, in my opinion. He's second nationally in total yardage accounted for. So, and I know, I know Kelvin Perkins has had a great year over at Southwind. He's rushed for more yardage, but I mean, what Andre's done this year is just insane. The fact that we get another year of him, I mean, it's pretty special.
Well, he's done something though that has never been done. He's rushed. He rushed for more yards or put up more yards in a single game. Mm-hmm. I mean, he broke records.
He passed for the most yardage in a game.
Yeah, passed for most yards. So I mean, he's broken records. I mean that's got to count for something. So
Yeah,
I don't get a vote, but I do get this. And like I said, unless something goes horribly wrong,
he's got 2 games left in the regular season. One against a pretty stingy Clarksville defense, and the other against a decent Rossview defense. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities that he goes for 4,000 yards in the regular season and 50 touchdowns in the regular season. That is in reach for with what he's been doing.
And it can't get lost in the fray, but Brandon Galladay he's one of the best in the state. Simple as that.
Finally this afternoon, TSU and UT Chattanooga has offered, but that's just the tip of the iceberg because I got a feeling they're going to start rolling in for him, and rightfully so. Closing in on 1,200 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns, I believe it is. He's top 3 in the state at the wide receiver position for sure.
Do have to answer this. No, this is a pretty simple one, admittedly. They dumped water on me. That's unforgivable. I do want to say this to the White House Heritage family. I know they lost one of their own today, and Bruce McClendon. Coach Murray put that out earlier, so thoughts and prayers to them. That's horrible to see, but definitely don't hate White House Heritage. Thankful I wore my waterproof quarter zip that night, or else it would have been a miserable night. But definitely don't hate White House Heritage for sure.
Yeah, definitely a tough situation over White House Heritage. Our thoughts with the Patriots and their families, and tough situation there. We've kept talking about Antioch, and now they're 8-0 for the first time since 1963. And okay, Matt posted. Someone put this question up to you. How much merit does he have here?
We talked about it on the sideline. Oakland's still very much the favorite. But if Antioch were to beat an Oakland or Ravenwood, would I be shocked? No. Their issue. Sorry, I just read Noah's comment.
You know what? Let's put that up there.
Malachi Dowell, man.
Yeah.
But if they won either of those games, I wouldn't be shocked. And we'll get into right now in a little bit, we'll get to how those playoff scenarios would look. But
I think pretty much what we come to the conclusion with, Joe, is that unlike in years past with a team similar to Antioch, these teams like Ravenwood, Southwind potentially, and maybe, at some point, Brentwood, any of these, teams that are going to be on the western side, because they wouldn't play Oakland until Chattanooga. Mm-hmm. They cannot have an off night against Antioch or they're beat. In years past, they could have an off night and still find a way to win. You have an off night against Antioch and you're beat. It's that simple.
Yep.
All right, let's go into those 3 stars of the week that we like to talk about so much. Do that now, and then we'll do rankings in just a bit. 3 stars of the week voting now open, 615preps.com. You can vote basically through noon Friday on the finals for this week. Let's look at the winners from week 7. And that's Polkron's LJ Funk honoring first star honors. Ethan Gibson from Ensworth takes the 2nd star, and Julius Carter from Fairview is the 1st star.
Yeah, well deserved for each of those guys. I know EJ went off 2 weeks ago. LJ, guy we're not talking about a whole lot, but we definitely should be because he's having a great year leading that Pearl Cone offense. And then Julius Carter, it's a name we're going to be talking about for a couple of years, guys. I think he's only a sophomore. So,
yeah, definitely. Yep. And of course, EJ Gibson. He had a great, and then he had followed up with a great week. So,
yep.
Yeah. Speaking of guys that, I'm not sure what his totals are, but that's a guy that could be in the conversation to potentially be a Michigan football finalist.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the finalists from week number 8. We'll start with Cannon County's Eli Garrett, who was 16-20 passing for 397 yards and 5 touchdowns in that win at Jackson County. They won 42-14. Brandon Galladay, we mentioned him, 12 catches, 245 yards, and 4 touchdowns last Thursday night in that epic win over FRA. Maplewood's Micah Graves had 4 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, returned a kickoff for a touchdown, and also had 10 tackles with a tackle for a loss as they upset Whites Creek 20-12. Dominic Hamer from Antioch, 15 tackles, had a tackle for a loss and an interception for the Bears in that win. FRA's Mike Hassel on the other side of that epic, 216 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns on 26 carries, 8 catches for 113 yards for the Panthers. Cheatham County's Walker Hobbs, 189 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on 24 carries. Also had 7 tackles on defense. They beat Hunters Lane 42-34. BGA's Caden Marable, 8 of 9 passing, 163 yards and 4 touchdowns. Only played a half as BGA's 44-0 win over Chattanooga Prep was called at halftime. FRA's Jack Nimitz, 28 of 41 passing, 389 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 carries, 48 yards, and another score in that loss at Antioch. And then Springfield's Cason Woodson, 9 of 13 passing, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 carries for 80 yards, and another score for the Yellow Jackets as they beat McGavock 49-6. In voting runs through noon Friday. Make sure to vote as much as you possibly can. You can vote once a day, and the top 3 will get our 3 Stars of the Week honors next week. Time to talk line of the week, Scott. Cheatham County's offense is that one.
Yeah, 401 yards rushing, 5 TDs for that rushing attack for Cheatham County in their 42-34 win over Hunters Lane this week. A really good job by the offensive line in that game, and it's good to see Cheatham County, playing as well as they're playing. Finally at home, get a season with some actual home games, and they're making the most of them.
Yep. Congratulations to the Cubs offensive line for taking home line of the week honors, and congratulations to the 3 Stars of the week for week number 7. Joe, let's talk rankings real quick. Let's start with the large class.
Yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot of changes solely because a lot of teams didn't play. Antioch sticks at number 4. They can be upset about that, and understandably so, but Oakland, Brentwood Academy, and Ravenwood really haven't done anything to, make them drop. Simple as that. Innsworth had some Blackman folks upset that they're not 5. Innsworth's played, to me, a tougher schedule, and they got some more quality wins than what Blackman has. Pretty much stays the same for large class.
Well, at the end of the day, Antioch is going to, wherever Antioch and Ravenwood and Oakland wind up, it's going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
Medium class looks like Page, FRA, BGA, Beach, Pearl Cone in that order.
Yeah, FRA salvaged themselves last week because had they gotten blown out like the way it was looking, hard not to think they drop even further down. But they made it a game. They had a chance to win or to tie late. Page kind of takes over that top spot, and the Patriots guys, they're one of the better teams we're just not talking about this year. I know they were off last week. I'll get to see them Friday night against Independence, but the Patriots are quietly putting together, one of their best seasons under Coach Rathbone. That's saying something.
Well, how weird is it that we aren't talking about them? But we, for 5 years, they've almost made excellence seem normal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really is a shame that that we don't talk about them more. But it's just become the norm for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you ask them though, they're okay with that.
All right with it.
Yeah.
Small class, it's still Nashville Christian at the top.
Yeah, they got tested last week though. Tyner Academy made it a game, but they found a way to win. Nashville or Jared Curtis on essentially one leg, it looked like, on that touchdown run, scores late to win it. East Robertson, they're rolling. Gordonsville, they're looking like a real contender, guys. And then Friendship Christian, they got a big one in Nashville Christian here in a couple of weeks. That's going to be massive. And I think we could possibly see that matchup again in Chattanooga in December.
Yeah, might see some of these rankings shuffle a little bit this week, but a larger slate and maybe some teams move around a bit. But we'll see what happens. Real quickly, let's talk about our sponsors from AccuWorks. AccuWorks is a full-service property damage restoration company that offers around-the-clock emergency service 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the past 20 years in Middle Tennessee. Jeff Stockton and his team of industry veterans specialize in restoration projects for your home or business, fire restoration, smoke cleaning, water damage and mold remediation, storm damage restoration, general contracting, and much more. Our commitment is to assess each situation quickly and correctly to provide you the most efficient and complete restoration plan that meets your specific needs. AccuWorks performs emergency service and restoration for property owners across Middle Tennessee. With locations in Nashville and near you, our professional staff are minutes away from helping with your property damage emergency. Quality work, professionalism, and integrity have been the backbone of our success in our company since 2006. Call us now at 2615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. All right. Real quick, let's Joe, if you got anything for your soapbox this week, let's go ahead and get that out of the way.
Not that I can think of. Pretty good week again. Yeah, no, nothing I can think of, man. It's been a good couple weeks, and I feel like that's going to change this week because, boy, did we disagree on a lot this week.
All right, fair enough. We will save it for another time then, and get to what a lot of people are waiting for, which is some apologies. Well, Isaac actually had the distinct honor of apologizing on the field Thursday night, and I'm going to let him go second. Cam, why don't you go first?
Yeah, it was a bad week for me. No doubt about it. Dropped another game to the Northerner, unfortunately. But it is what it is, and I thought CPA may have turned the corner after a tough win against the NBA, but Innsworth, you come out pretty much what you did the week before to Knox Catholic and ran the football at will. You were the more physical football team for 4 quarters, and AJ Gibson, apologize to you. I apologize to Coach Hasselback and the rest of the Tigers. You guys are really, really good up front, and you continue to impose your will on most opponents that you face, and got it wrong. So I apologize.
That one game league is looking bad, Cam. Looking real bad.
Yep. You looking like Seth Rollins. I might have to cut you in half.
Well, let's see what Isaac had to come up with.
Isaac here from 6 and 5 Preps, here to apologize to all of Antioch, the entire city of Antioch, because all of us, except Connor, shout out Connor. Connor picked Antioch, so Connor's the mayor of Antioch for tonight. But I didn't. I picked FRA to win by a touchdown, and just on behalf of 6 and 5 Preps, on behalf of me, I'm sorry. I picked against FRA, so I had that in the back of my mind. I had to, rep them, but you guys, 64 points. Oh my God. So 6-0, right? Or 8-0?
8-0.
8-0 for the first time in school history. First time. See, you can go undefeated. That would be amazing. But man, I'm sorry. I will not pick against you for the rest of the season.
They'll pick
I'll
against.
hold you to that.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Yeah.
Another on-field apology happened Thursday night. Scott, that was yours over at Lawson. So let's have it.
I'm here with Kawan Taylor. Lawson pulls off the win, 7-6 over Hillsboro here at Hillsboro. Big win for the team, big win for the program, and I've got some apologizing to do. I'm sorry. I didn't believe in the Lightning. I should have believed in the power of the Lightning, and I don't know what to say. I'm an idiot. I'm a fool, and I shouldn't have picked against you, and I'm sorry.
You're good. Hey, it was a hard fought battle, though. It was my first game back in the month, coming off a high ankle sprain, coming out here and just playing, just trying to get my team to the next level after we lost to them 2 years in a row, my sophomore and my freshman year. So coming out back to their turf where I had a bad game my first year, freshman, 3 fumbles, and coming back out here on a high ankle sprain and coming out here and getting my team to win and just moving us on to the playoffs for the first time and making history. It's really all it's about. But you're good. I seen it. But you got to believe in the lightning when it rain past a couple days in a week. You got to believe in the lightning. That's it.
Well, congratulations. Again, I'm sorry. This is what we do. I appreciate it. Hey, have a great fall break.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll see you down the line.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Big night for Lawson that night. They're in the driver's seat with the playoffs. And, I was definitely wrong.
All right, Hollywood, you're up.
Maplewood. I wore a Panther mask last week for FRA, and in reality, I should have wore it for you guys. You stayed at home. You beat Whites Creek. We all picked against you, so I'm obviously not fully to blame. But I am sorry. I should have believed in the Panthers. They are one of my favorite animals. But I didn't pick them. I picked the Cobras. I'm sorry. Truly, truly from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry, Maplewood. Keep it going. That's a big win for you guys. And I think that's exactly what you guys need to take that next step as a program. So on behalf of myself and the rest of 615 Preps, which, by the way, we all picked against you guys, not just me. I'm not alone here. I am sorry. We're sorry. Forgive us.
Wait a minute. How did I get thrown under that bus?
You picked against them too.
Well, I agree, but
He's right, you know.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, while all that was going on, I was out filming a little bit something different. I told y'all the judge was going to show up, and he finally did.
I must say, I'm very disappointed to see some of y'all in this courtroom. I mean, really. A lot of you, just inexcusable. I give you one. But then you go off and you do it again. And there's one of you who is not only a repeat offender, but is in here for the 3rd time. Disgraceful. So we're going to deal with it right here, right now. Now, in this courtroom, you are guilty until proven innocent. And usually you can't prove yourself innocent. So let's have it out. Now, some of you, I might have had a hard time figuring out. Maybe a second loss is understandable, but it still doesn't make me happy. Now, some of you lost games you had no business losing. And that's what's landed you in here in the first place. And I have every intention of throwing the book at you. And you.
Oh, God.
We go back a long way.
I hear he's from there.
So imagine my disappointment when I found out that you were going to be appearing before me.
Twice.
Come on, man. Come on. We go back a long way, and it breaks my heart that you're in here.
Could be worse.
I tried to help you. I did. But for some reason, here you are. Do I dare show compassion? Do I give y'all another chance? And you, a 3-time offender, what do you have to say for yourself? I like to think of myself as a person with compassion, understanding, and fairness. And I just so happen to be in a decent mood right now. So, I'm not going to rule in any of your cases at this moment. But just know, you're all on extremely thin ice the rest of the season. And I'm probably going to lean against picking you if it's 50-50. But understand something. This means a lot to me.
Too bad you're losing.
If I don't leave Chattanooga with it again this year, you better hope you're not the reason I lose it the rest of the season. Because I'm going to reopen those cases, and I'm not going to be compassionate when I do. Don't let me see you in here again. Court's adjourned.
That was a lot, man.
Yeah,
It was a lot. There were a lot of repeat offenders this year.
Damn.
Hey, order in the court. Good gosh.
The rope fit though, which was nice.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree with Matt. They're on double secret probation.
It is a kangaroo court after all. All right.
This is
so we'll move on and start looking ahead toward that word that we all love so much, playoffs. Bracket's different this year. TWSAA has set this up where you're not necessarily staying within the region next to you, but you're in basically the half of the bracket that you belong to now. So let's take a look at. Let's start in 1A. It's easier to show you than to tell you about it. Cam, you kind of went through and looked at the standings as they are now and put this together. So let's talk about what you've seen.
Yeah. So using what we have so far, as far as standings go, there is some of these. So there's some regions that's already been decided as far as region champion. And the way that I ranked these, if they had the same region record and they have not played in the region yet, then that tiebreaker would go to overall record for right now, and that would determine the seed on these projections. And then, of course, if you have a team that is 1-0 in the region, that is, even if they're 2-5, if they're 1-0 in the region, and you have a team that's 6-1 that is 1-1 in the region, the 1-0 team gets the seed above because they have not lost in the region yet. So they technically would be ranked above the 1-1 team. So some of these most of these will change over the next 3 weeks. But this is tentatively what we have right now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of how each side of the bracket shakes up in Division 1 anyway. Division 2 is not really affected by this, but the D1 brackets are some intriguing matchups as we look down the line. This is the eastern half of 1A right now, and if we're looking at somebody like, for instance, Joe Burns and Whitwell have had history in the playoffs, they would still meet up.
Yeah, so basically what they wanted to do is they wanted to keep that first round game local. So nothing changes with the first round games. If you're in region, for instance, if you're in region 4 and you win the region like you're Clay County there, you're going to play the region 3, 4. That's going to happen in the first round. What changes is they want different matchups in the postseason, and ultimately what the end goal sort of is they want the best teams playing around Thanksgiving with a chance to go play for a state championship. And that does set up that way in some of these brackets. In some of these brackets, you still end up, with that big region rematch in the quarterfinals that is pretty historic as far as TWSAA history goes. You get some of these regions that are loaded. Of a couple of regions that come to mind is the Springfield and Pearl Cone region. Tough fought game just a couple weeks ago. There's a chance that they play in the playoffs. That game, I believe, when we get to the Chris, do you have all of these?
Yeah, I do actually. We'll go through them. Let's
Okay,
go to
yeah. So when we get to the 4A, I'm not for sure right now. I think because Springfield is the 3 seed, they would not play Procon until the semifinals at this moment. But if they end up being the 2 seed, I believe that game goes back to being the quarterfinal matchup.
Would
If
be
I'm
the
not mistaken.
quarter. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the western half of 1A, and actually Eagleville, right now the 4 seed in Region 5 would play McKenzie in round 1.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough draw for Eagleville, but that's also one of those teams that they still have, I believe, all 3 of their games, maybe region games, to end the year. So a lot of movement could happen there.
Yeah. Over here in the eastern half of 2A, where you've got Gordonsville as a 1 seed right now out of Region 4, Smith County would go to Grundy County in round 1.
And honestly, that it's not a bad draw for the Owls, in my opinion.
Gordonsville, Marion County square off in the quarters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, it's one of those games that's probably a semifinal or a state championship worthy game, but would be in round 3.
Yeah, and you're going to see some of these teams. There'll be a team in one of these classifications this year that will wind up losing a tiebreaker and end up the 3 seed, and it will actually work in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
That would be an interesting. Cannon has an interesting draw right there, in that setup as it is right now.
I know some people were definitely interested in 2A in the western half, especially when you're talking about East Robertson and East Nashville. Right now, that would be a semifinal game.
Yep.
I think they'd be all right with that.
Yep. Eastern half of 3A, we don't have anybody on
Watertown.
our coverage except for Watertown. Watertown would go to Brainerd in round 1, and should they survive that, probably looking at Gatlinburg Pittman.
Ooh, that's a tough draw 1, tough draw 2.
Mm-hmm. How the
White Street down there at the bottom.
Western half shapes up. Yeah, you've got Sycamore as a 4 seed in Region 6. You've got Westmoreland going to Waverly at the moment. Fairview would go to Maplewood in round 1.
Yeah, and before any of our Stratford following jumps on us there, Westmoreland got the 4. Neither team has won a region game to this point. Westmoreland got the 4 because they have the better overall record right now. This is just projections. I know y'all will settle it on the field come Friday night, so just relax.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that, Chris. I jumped out. I didn't know you changed the page.
Yeah. Yeah. Eastern half of 4A right now. Macon County would go to Red Bank, and that's a matchup that's happened each of the last 2 years.
Yep.
Western half in 4A, some area teams would square off in round 1. Creekwood would go to White House as it currently stands.
And of course, Springfield is the 3 right now, but Springfield will likely finish as the 2. So we still have 3 weeks of the season. This is way too early looking, but this is what it would look like.
Yep. Yeah. Pearl Cone right now would host Battle Creek out of Region 5 under that current setup. 5A in the East, we don't have anybody in that half of the bracket, but you see where Sevier County lines up right now.
Where would White House Heritage have been? Sorry, Jonathan asked.
Heritage would have been, let's see.
Heritage is 3-0 in the region. So
yeah, let me go back to 3A real quick. The western half. White House Heritage is host Sycamore.
Yeah, so they're in that blank spot up top.
Yeah. Yeah, they're way up top where a lot of stuff's blocking it. So that's where White House Heritage is.
Potential second round game with Covington is not ideal for Heritage, but
not fun. That eastern half of 5A, that's how that shakes up against Sevier County. The top would host Knoxville West. Western half, Station Camp would go to Page.
Yeah, this one had some interesting matchups. I kind of liked these matchups as far as teams in our area. Station Camp versus Page, interesting. Even more interesting, Centennial Beach would be really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like that second round possibility there of Henry County and Page.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history there.
Definitely. Lawson and Portland in round 1, and then one of those two teams would probably have to go to Munford.
Mm-hmm. God.
6A Eastern half. Dobbins Bennett's that top team over there out of Region 1. Gallatin at Blackman potentially. Riverdale at Green Hill.
Oh, that'd be a game.
Mm-hmm. Green
Over on the west side.
So Antioch and Indy. I mean, that's one of the more intriguing round one
Yeah.
matchups.
It would be.
For sure. But then you go, I mean, Antioch, Ravenwood in the quarters. I mean, that's the matchup everybody wants to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Ravenwood would have the harder draw to get there.
For sure. Germantown is no slouch.
That's all for the Division 1. Then you see how those have kind of shaken out so far. Look how Division 2 is shaping up at the moment. Class A will start there. The buys would go to MTCS, USJ, and Nashville Christian. And then you'd be looking, Friendship Christian would be at home round 1. Same for DCA. Franklin Christian would be on the road at Trinity Christian. Providence Christian would be at home against Grace Baptist. Double A, no buys anymore in Double A. It's a 16-team brackets.
Where would Lebanon be? Sorry, can you go back to 6A?
Lebanon at the moment was seated as the Region 4 number 1.
Yep.
Which
so they would play Rockville.
So they win Friday, and they would be at home against Rockville, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, they would.
And then they would probably be looking at a Oak Ridge in the second round.
Yep. Back to D2 AA, where we've got BGA at home against Notre Dame, FR8 at home against Lakeland Christian. JP2 would be on the road at Boyd Buchanan. Good Pasture would travel to Los Ann. Grace Christian would be at home against Silverdale in those first round games as they currently stand. Still think this will shake up quite a bit before this thing goes over, though. D2 AAA, the buys would be Baylor, Lipscomb Academy, Ensworth, and BA.
Wow.
Yeah, and this would set up beautiful for us to get a team to Chattanooga.
NBA Christian Brothers matchup would be very intriguing and set up that Brentwood Academy NBA if NBA wins that.
It feels criminal that NBA and BA are not playing like a regular season game. That doesn't feel right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And CPA would be at home against Father Ryan in the first round. Then would go to Lipscomb Academy round 2.
Yeah, and then you would look at CPA potentially being in the semifinals there against Macaulay or Baylor, potentially, if that was to stick like this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Macaulay and Baylor in a second round game?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As it's seated right now, yes, it is.
This would be
Yep.
at Baylor.
Wow.
Yep. Ensworth beating Macaulay was massive.
Yep. Yep. It shook the whole order up in that region. It's definitely. Guys, just first thoughts on the playoff format in Division 1 and kind of what you like, what you don't like about it.
It's something that exists. No playoff format's perfect, but I don't know. The intrigue of getting some massive matchups for semifinals games, I'm all right with it.
I think you said the word right there, Joe. It's intrigue, and some of them second round matchups are going to be great matchups. And they're going to be matchups that we would not have seen under the old format because only one team out of this quadrant and one team out of this quadrant are going to play each other. And this sets it up to where we get matchups we have not seen. It is more travel, which is a huge deficit, especially to the smaller schools because they have a lot farther to drive, more rounds to travel that far. Which is unfortunate, but I like the format and I like the idea of us getting different matchups from a fan standpoint.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. The geography of the state is so long.
Mm-hmm.
The state is so long. It's not. There's not a. We're not a small state. We are north to south, but not east to west, and so it really becomes a travel issue. Here.
Yep.
I'm not disagreeing with Chris Flowers either.
No.
Yeah, 5-2 was perfect, and they chose to go away from it.
Yep. Well, let's dive into some of these top 10 matchups of Week 9. We'll start with Centennial and Nolensville. It's a key region game in 5-5A. Nolensville unbeaten in region play. Centennial looking for the first win.
Yeah, and Centennial, very deceiving record. That offense has put up a ton of points. Probably played a tougher schedule maybe than what Nolensville has. Really like what Mitchell Grangene's done for the Cougars. But Nolensville's showing out under first-year coach Scott Stidham. Not shocking at all. He's one of the better coaches around. This is a big one. I mean, these teams don't like each other. And, I mean, the winner here, you got to think, they're in the driver's seat for a top 2 spot in the region.
Yep.
Yeah, and, Centennial already played Page, but Nolensville hasn't. Nolensville still has a region championship out in front of them, which makes this even more important of a game for them from that standpoint. But as you said, Mitchell Grangene's had an outstanding year at Centennial. They've put up a ton of points. Unfortunately, they've given up a ton of points. Oliver Bender, a receiver for Nolensville, has had a really good year. He'll look to have a huge night against the Cougar secondary, and this could be another shootout.
Can you throw that up for Matt?
Yeah.
Have I paid my dues? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
All right. Davidson Academy, a non-region game for these guys. They're going to Portland.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, Portland kind of banged up there for a little while. It sounds like they're getting back to full health with Keelan Dalton and Avery Hughes back. That's bad news for Davidson Academy. But the Bears, again, they're another one of those teams that's played a brutal schedule. Record's a little misleading. Last year, I believe they rolled through Portland. They rolled over Portland. Don't know if that'll be the case this year.
Yeah, I think the bye came at the right time for the Bears. They've they have played a grueling schedule. Last 3 games, against a 1-loss FRA, an undefeated Franklin Grace, and a 1-loss BGA. The team's really low on numbers, but they're big on heart. But now they get Portland, and that is a very, very physical team. They're going to run the ball. They're going to try to keep the ball away from Davis Academy's passing game. Avery Hughes is just a wrecking ball. 6'3", 230 pounds on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a tough game for Davidson Academy, but one that they can win.
It's an elimination game for Franklin. If they lose this one, they pretty much have no shot at the postseason, and they're going to go to Brentwood to try to get a region win over the Bruins.
Yeah, and it's a similar matchup to the Centennial to the Centennial Nolensville matchup. Brentwood still has hopes for a region championship. They're a team that's probably gotten better throughout the season. Had to replace a lot. J.C. White transfers right before the start of the season and goes to Lipscomb Academy. But Brentwood is still 3-0 in the region and still has everything out in front of them. And as you said, Chris, Franklin has to win this game. Unfortunately, the story for Franklin has been the same throughout the whole season. Defensively, they're pretty decent. Offensively, they've not been able to score enough. And this is a tough matchup for them, and because Brentwood's really good on the defensive side of the ball as well. So Franklin's really going to struggle to score in this game, which is going to make it difficult.
They're
game too.
It is. But you can definitely tell that the Admirals are definitely refitting the ship here. They only had one starter, I believe, come back on offense, which is why they're struggling. It's just they're very, very young on that side, and they're averaging only 11.9 points per game. They've eclipsed double digits like twice in the past 5 weeks. But Santino Bruni is doing a marvelous job on defense. That defense for Franklin is really tough. With Brentwood, is there anything more Jekyll and Hyde than what seems to be their offense? One week they're kicking it, and next week they're struggling. But I like Gavin Strang to light it up. When he's given time, and he's got some really good receivers, Parker Emerson and Jones Merrill. I'll look for them to get out in front and then keep the pressure on the Admirals.
Non-region game, but a couple of 5-1 teams going at it. Gallatin at Beach.
Yeah, Sumner County, good Sumner County rivalry. Beach has really dominated the series as of late, and it's hard to imagine them losing a game like this. The way they've been rolling, Gallatin's having a great year, but the Bucks, they're looking really good on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a really good test for that Gallatin defense, in particular, and offensively. You know, can Barksdale really get them going against DK Williams and a really loaded Beach team?
Yeah, I think this game is going to come down to can Andy Brock and the other linebackers for Gallatin stop the run.
It's a revenge game for him. He's facing his old school.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I believe the DC Brent Russell is also a game going back to Shackle Island for him as well. So intriguing matchup, but this one's going to be quick. If I had to guess, both teams are going to try to run the football. Which team can limit the mistakes, which teams can operate on third and short. Is going to be huge in this football game because you're going to have a ton of 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, and which defense is able to get some stops in those scenarios is going to win the football game.
I would love to have seen what this game would have been if Jackson hadn't been hurt. To see him go against Caden Powell. Kayshawn's got Barksdale at quarterback. He's going to be very mobile, which is, kind of, I don't know that it mitigates DK Williams, but it may hamper him just a little bit that he can move around. But I think that, Gallatin's leaning more into the run with Malachi Harper, and I think that bodes well for them. But by gosh, Caden Powell is just a load to stop. And, Gallatin's going to have to find a way to slow that running game down. Is Swafford due back? Do we know if he's due back this week?
I would say he would probably hold out on this one.
Yeah.
Even if he's close, he will probably be held out, if I had to guess.
Well, they're at least with nothing's really falling off with DK Williams back there.
No. And you can't forget the Laster kid out wide for them either.
Yeah, this is true.
Next up, another one of our unbeatens at home is Grace Christian will host Good Pasture.
It's a huge game. It's also the first time these two teams have ever played each other, weirdly enough. So, GCA, the surprise of the season so far, I would say. I don't think any of us had them going 7-0. Thought they'd be better this year, but they're proving us all wrong. They beat Davidson Academy. They beat JP2. Like to thank them for that, for getting me back in the race. The line's really good, but Kane Stroud's got Good Pasture's another team that's turned it around. They won one game last year, I think. So, two teams that have turned it around and have themselves right in the thick of the D2AA mix here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and Caden just went over 4,000 yards rushing in his career, so kudos to him. Really, really good running back. But I think what makes Good Pasture dangerous and what has helped them win their football games this year is they're not just Caden Stroud. Chase Angel has played very, very well for them. Slim Lavelle out wide and in the secondary for them has been very, very good. But what Knox Lambert's been able to do for GCA offensively, their defense has been there all year. Their offense over the last couple of weeks has really come on, and that's a very exciting thing if you're a Lions fan. And it's an unfortunate thing for Cameron Jenkins.
Yeah, the Lions are, as Cam said, the Lions are a good passing team. Knox Lambert's a 67% passer. It's got 16 passing touchdowns. They don't run all that much, but their backs are really good at catching the ball out of the backfield. The Graff brothers are both outstanding receivers. Grayson has 40 catches, 8 TDs. But, defense is not talked about a lot with this team, but they have Jacob Giles back there averaging 10, almost 11 tackles per game. Noah Anlicker is a turnover machine, 2 sacks, 2 picks, 2 fumble recoveries. Gunnar Connor is 5 sacks. Both of these teams really playing above where a lot of people had them this year, and both of them are great stories. It's going to be a really fun game.
And we would be remiss to not mention this as well. We're going to kind of throw in a little spot here, but Bob Jordan, the coach for GCA, he's up for coach of the year in middle class, in my opinion. I think he's on the short list at this moment. Speaking of coach of the year awards, we're still looking for a sponsor for those. So if you are a small business looking for a really easy, cheap way to get your name out there and sponsor high school football and the coaches that build the men of tomorrow, give us a shout.
Another one of those unbeatens is hosting Independence, and we're talking about Page.
For a while, Page had a lot of issues playing the 6A teams. They'd have these great years, but then they'd have 1 or 2 losses on the record, and it's because they'd play a 6A team. That came to an end last year. And then this year, they've already beat Green Hill and they beat Brentwood, both in pretty dominating fashion. So Independence is having a great renaissance year under Scott Blade. He's back. Indy 2.0 is doing really well. 3-3 on the year, a couple of tough losses, but Page, man, we talked about it before. The Patriots, you talk about some really good Page teams over the last couple of years. The way this team's playing on both sides of the ball, Indy's going to have to play a perfect game here, and to do it at Page will not be easy.
Well, Page rules the trenches with their offensive and defensive lines, and DJ Curl and Jacob. Every game seems like it's a statement game for the offensive and defensive lines for Page. That's where they dominate you, and that's where they win. They've developed a great ground game, and I think that they lean towards that this game. Keep the ball out of Matthew Horner's hands as much as possible, force Indy to run. So I think that it's going to be a very, very, as Joe said, it's a very difficult environment already, and Page is playing extremely well.
Yeah, I think Page had some questions early in the season, especially banged up a little bit on the defense side of the ball. They gave up more points than what we were accustomed from Page giving up, but they have figured that out, and offensively they've been there all year. I think Joe, me and you both kind of agree that this team reminds us more of the first Page team that went to Chattanooga, as far as they can put up a ton of points. And this team's probably a little bit better defensively than that team was. So that's
a little bit. I think they're significantly better than that team.
Page is set up to, everybody with everything that they graduated last year. Everybody, for the most part, as far kind of wrote them off, and that was a huge mistake on the Independence front. As we said, Scott Blade, Indy 2.0. I think you've seen enough this year to be really excited about next year, and I think they're going to be a playoff team here, guys. I think they're going to finish probably at the 4 seed and set up that matchup with Antioch. But super excited to see what Indy can do next year.
Yeah.
BGA only got to play a half last week. They're hoping to play a little bit longer this time around. They've got JP2 at home.
Yeah, they're the overwhelming favorite here for good reason. But, JP2's got some weapons. Dave Batten's having a great year. Sam Bowers is having a remarkable year. I think he leads all D2 AA in receiving yards or total touchdowns or something like that. So BGA just has so many weapons. And I don't know if this JP2 defense, they've been up and down all year. Not a great matchup to be up and down when you got Caden Marable and all those Maximus Curry, all those guys at home nonetheless. So big test here for the Knights. They're going to have some growing pains this year. I think for the future, they're going to be really good, but this is a big matchup.
Yeah, I think JP2 can match up at certain spots. But unfortunately, I do think BGA has a clear advantage in several spots as well. So could be a long night for the Knights.
Yeah, consistency, I think, Joe, you're talking about the up and down. BGA has been consistently good offensively and defensively all year except for one half of football. And JP2 has been up and down. They've been inconsistent. If they can put together a complete game, they'll be in the game. But BGA, it seems like they are just hard to stop. They get on a roll.
Next one is a little bit of jockeying over there in 4A Region 6 as Liberty Creek goes to White House Heritage, and these two teams trying to find their way into that top 4.
Yeah, they're going to try to find their way. Go ahead, Joe.
This was a hard game to pick. Can't figure out what Liberty Creek is. They lose a weird game earlier in the year. Then they beat Sycamore and kind of back and forth. And then White House, to me, they're a lot better than I thought they were going to be this year with everything they graduated last season.
Well, they've come on of late. They've scored a ton of points over the last 2 weeks. And, you know, on the Liberty Creek front, heck, opening week of the season, probably one of the biggest head scratchers. They take East Robertson to overtime in week 1. And I know we were kind of flabbergasted by it. And it's not that we thought Liberty Creek was going to be bad. We just thought East Robertson was just going to be that much better. But this is going to be a huge game. I think both teams need this to cement themselves in that top 4. But I really think that this game is going to determine who's the 3 and who's the 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As Jackson Collier goes, the quarterback for Liberty Creek, so goes the Wolves. It seems like a lot of the offense runs through, and as quarterback, rightfully so, runs through him. I think they're a very complete as far as an even keel type of team, whereas I think White House has some more athletes. They play with abandon over there, and they have a running back, Jake Soporowski. You know, he's really starting to break out in the running game. So I see if they take care of the ball, White House could run with this one, but that's a big thing.
Staying in Sumner County for the next one, Station Camp goes to Hendersonville.
And this is what, for the 3 and 4 spot, essentially, you would think. Station Camp started off hot, and they've dropped 4 straight, but the offense is still really, really good. Hendersonville is kind of a harder team to figure out. They started off hot or start off slow. Now they've picked up steam. 2 very similar teams in a lot of ways. This should be a really good game.
Yeah, Station Camp still has aspirations to finish the 2. They still have a huge game. I believe it's week 11 against Portland. And, you know, to get to that point, they have to win this one. And this is a Hendersonville team that's gotten better, especially on the defense side of the ball from what we've seen in week 1 when they gave up 44 to Gallatin. And Station Camp, you know, defensively they still struggle at times, but they can put up points in a hurry. So this one could be a very interesting matchup as well.
You look at Station Camp and their last 4 games. Yeah, they've lost 4 in a row, but those losses came against a 1-loss Springfield. It came against an undefeated Lebanon, rival in Gallatin, and a one-loss Beach. They have stuff scheduled, and yeah, their offense has not stopped clicking. You know, it's just been a killer schedule. Hendersonville is getting better, but they're still seem to be somewhat young. They're going to have to put points on the board to stay up with Station Camp.
Last but not least, our spotlight game for this week is the last 2 unbeaten teams in Region 4 of Class 6A. Lebanon, who's still 7-0, traveling to Green Hill.
And, you know, everybody told Green Hill, you need to schedule folks. And they did. I mean, that non-region schedule, they went 2-2 with 2 losses to Williamson County teams. They did pick up a win over Centennial and Beach. And they've kind of been in cruise control in region play. They blew out Gallatin. They've been on the road the last couple of weeks. I know Cookeville did test them. Started off slow against Glencliff last week. And 2 weeks ago, yeah. Lebanon presents a big challenge. We'll get to our picks here in a little bit. I know Lebanon kids have been at my throat saying I don't believe in them and all this stuff, even though I picked Lebanon in every single game this year that they played. But that's besides the point. Guy and Zeta could be in for a big game. You can run the ball on this Green Hill defense, or at least other teams have been able to. However, you got Cannon Burrows, a great nullifier on the other side of the ball, leading a really good Hawks team that for the past couple of years, they've had the Blue Devils number.
Yeah, this is going to be the best. Go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, ever since that late August swoon that ended in that loss at Ravenwood, this Hawk team has been on an offensive tear, averaging almost 42 points per game. A big part of that has been the emergence of their offensive line and running back Zach Cartwright. Since the Ravenwood game, he's rushed for almost 10 yards a carry.
He's a beast.
He is, and they're going to need it as they're going to be facing one of the most stingy defenses in the state at this point. Lebanon's only allowed 69 points in 7 games, so under 10 points a game. Granted, they haven't played as tough as a schedule, but you play who you have in front of you, and they played them well.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, Izita, getting him back and healthy is a game changer. Watching him live and in person, it's amazing how he runs. He is hard to bring down, and he opens up so much of the offense for Austin Harrison. This should be a really, really good game.
Yeah, I agree with you that you play who's in front of you, and sometimes you do get to pick who's in front of you, though. And I think that Green Hill has picked Murderers Row and Lebanon not so much, but this is going to be the best offense that Lebanon has seen and will see in the regular season. And, you know, I just don't think that I don't think Coach Crouch scheduled the games that he scheduled early to not still win this region. So, I mean, this is going to be an intriguing matchup. I think Green Hill's going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. I think both of these teams really want to grab a hold of that Wilson County stranglehold as far as being the top program in Wilson County.
All right, we'll get to the picks in here in just a moment. Let's talk first about our proud sponsors at AccuWorks. Water damage, it can be as small as a leaking faucet or as catastrophic as a flood. Regardless of the source, water damage wreaks havoc on your home or business's walls, floors, and furniture, and can lead to mold and other health risks. AccuWorks can start water damage restoration services immediately, removing all potential risks and restoring the affected areas. The experts at AccuWorks will determine the extent of the water damage in your property. We can handle any size of water breach, from a small plumbing malfunction to a major sewage backup or storm flooding. AccuWorks conducts natural water removal from your home using the most advanced equipment and techniques in the industry. And once your property is dry again, our restoration and remediation experts can also repair any lasting damage. There's no need to call another contractor for water damage restoration. AccuWorks handles everything from beginning to end. If you're in Nashville, Clarksville, Cookeville, or areas in between, it's time to call the water damage experts at AccuWorks. Call us now at 615-292-2009 or toll free at 888-779-2228 or visit our website at AccuWorks.com. AccuWorks Restoration, a proud sponsor of Tennessee High School Athletics. And now it's time for Who You Got.
Everything.
Every week. It's getting a little tighter at the top, folks.
Yeah, Cam had a 5-game lead?
No.
It was a 5-game lead.
It was 4.
Oh man. But how about Tyson and Isaac right there with us too?
Yeah.
Chris is
but we're really going to find out what the interns have over the next few weeks, because we've taken away their opportunity to see who we pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a format change, and everybody's having to submit their picks anonymously this time.
No more sandbagging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course they all send to me because I'm no threat to anybody.
Yeah, we actually do send them to Scott. So
but last week, I mean, everybody did well. Then 21-5 was the worst record on the board. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our number, 2 years ago was 75%. Guys, we have over half the team here that's right at, or everybody's over 75, but everybody is closer to 80 than they are 75.
Yeah, you guys are running the curve for everybody.
And then obviously the mayor of Antioch gets his flowers for being a lone wolf last week, because Connor picked Antioch to beat FRA. Let's start with Centennial and Nolensville, and Isaac and KJ are taking the Knights this week, while the rest of us have the Cougars.
I just think Centennial's offense gets them over the top here. They're much better than their record indicates. Um, really like the Cougars. I think this is another great game between these two, though. They've played a lot of good ones over the years. Give me Mitchell Grandjean with a late touchdown pass.
Yeah, agreed. I just think Centennial's offense is more consistent. Has been more consistent than Nolensville's. If they get a couple stops, they'll have a chance to win the football game.
Yeah, this game was a little difficult for me to pick because I really was leaning into Nolensville for a little while, just looking at what their schedule was. And the last 3 games, it's really seen the offense and defense play complementary football. But it's just really hard to pick against Mitchell Grandjean and that powerful Cougar offense that they put up points on a tough Franklin defense last week, and were able to keep pace with both Antioch and Green Hill. I won't say that we don't talk enough about Malachi Steele. He may be the difference in this game.
Davidson Academy traveling to Portland. Isaac, KJ, and Connor are on the Bears. The Rebels have the Panthers.
See what happens when they.
If Caden Stroud was still on Davidson Academy, it'd be very tough not to pick Davidson here. But I think Portland's a vastly improved team from what they were last year. And if you get Keelan Dalton back healthy, Avery is going to do what he does. And Portland being at home, they got a great home field advantage there. I like the Panthers here, setting themselves up with some big momentum heading into the big one next week against Beach.
Yeah, agreed. I think Portland's defense has been overlooked because their offense has been so much better here this year compared to last year. But I think that they're very, from an offensive standpoint, I think they are comparable to some of the teams that have given Davidson Academy problems. And I think that they will find a way to outscore Davidson at home.
I just like the physicality of the Panthers here. The physicality and the numbers. I think that, Davidson Academy, they throw the ball really well, but this Portland defense, and you guys have said it countless times, they are just absolutely tough. And I just think that, especially at home, this plays right into what they want to do.
Yeah, they're going to have a hard time keeping Avery Hughes off their quarterback.
Yeah, leaning into that Panther defense, in their 5 wins, they've given up all of 7 points. They've given up 54 points in their 2 losses. So I'm looking to see Portland win a game a little bit different way. Now, not necessarily shutting somebody out, but being able to stay with and beat a team when they do score a few points on them. And I think Portland can do that this week.
Yeah.
How about Franklin and Brentwood? Well, all of us on the Bruins this time.
Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. Franklin can't score right now. That doesn't bode well against a pretty good Brentwood defense. And I think their offense does more than enough to get them over the line here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, obviously by the score I have, I think that the fact that they have had trouble, with on offense is just, especially with Brentwood's defense, it's strength against weakness there. But with a rivalry game, you never can tell. And let's face it, we've had our share of having to apologize for these things.
Well, let's get to Gallatin and Beach then, as we've all got the Buccaneers this week.
Yeah, I mean, can't bet against Beach right now. They're rolling. They look really, really good. That it feels like that week 1 loss to Green Hill was years ago at this point. Caden Powell's got this offense rolling, and the defense is vastly improved from what they were. Really like the Bucs.
Yeah, remember when we said that they would be a lot better in week 9, 10, 11 than they were in week 1? Well, it's week 9, and they're a lot better. And Gallatin is still, even without Jackson Straup, I think they're a formidable opponent here. I think that if Beach doesn't come ready to play, or if Beach turns the ball over a time or two, Gallatin can win this game very, very easily. I think this is going to be a very competitive game. I just think that Beach is going to take control up front and find a way to win.
Yeah, I agree. Both teams are playing they're playing well. I just think Beach is playing at a different level right now. Their defense has come along quicker than a lot of people anticipated. Um, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to DK Williams and his leadership on the field. Um, and I just think that Beach is, while Gallatin is playing at a good, solid level, Beach is at that next tier.
Good pasture at Grace Christian, and we have all taken the Lions this week.
Yeah, kind of shocked by this. Thought somebody would take a flyer on Good Pasture. I was torn on this game. I really like this Good Pasture team. They did lose to Davidson Academy. Good GCA beat good Davidson Academy. I just think GCA is on a bit of a tear right now, and until somebody beats them, until they face the likes of an FRA or BGA, it's hard for me to pick against them. Plus, they go ham on you on the Instagram lives if you pick against them, don't they, Cam?
Yep, they sure do, and I can't afford to give up any more spots. I'm trying to stay number one, so I had to roll with the Lions this week.
Yeah, to me, it's the defense that for GCA that kind of pushed me over the edge. Although I think it's a one-score game and it could be less than 7. I think that it's going to be whoever makes a play. It's at Grace Christian, so that was part of it as well. But I just think the defense for GCA is playing just a little bit better.
And that's the game I'll be out at Friday night as well. So looking forward to that one, getting over there with Grace Christian for the first time.
Nice.
Staying in Williamson County, Independence goes to Page. We've all got the Patriots.
Scott and I will be at this one Friday night. I'm excited to get back down to one of my favorite stadiums around here. Really good atmosphere and see just how good this Page team is. I really think Scott nailed it earlier. Line of scrimmage is where Page wins this. They have a really good offensive line, and when you got the stable of running backs they got, along with the quarterback that's been friggin' just consistent. No turnovers this year, passing the ball well, running the ball well. Really like the Patriots. I think they are one of the 2 best teams in 5A, and I think they get the job done here.
Yeah, agreed. I think that they come out. I think they've had a chip on their shoulder this year, in my opinion, and they're very goal oriented. Last year's team had one focus as well, but I think this year's team is a little bit different because of the outside expectations and the lack thereof. Maybe not as much pressure on this team compared to last year. So I can't wait to get to watch them here at some point over the next few weeks, and fully expect them to make another deep run at it.
I'm just interested in going out there and seeing that tremendous cornerback that they had. They had his what was his name? DJ Curl. That has a couple of picks on the season. I really I appreciate a good I love it when the linemen get involved, and these guys, they play together so well, and it seems like this line is the leadership on this team. They bring the lunch pails with them, and that to me is that's a tribute to their coaching, and I think that this Page team is playing like a team right now.
JP2 at BGA. We are all with the Wildcats this week.
I ain't picking against BGA until they give me a reason to. Simple as that.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it's all about consistency here. And BGA, like I said, other than a half of football, one half of football, have been consistent all year long. JP2, they have the offense to win the game, but I just don't think their defense can contain Caden Marable.
Agreed.
Analysis.
Liberty Creek at White House, and finally we get a lone wolf attempt, and Scott's taking Liberty Creek.
Yeah, like I said before, this was a tough game to call because I really like the athleticism of the Blue Devils. But when I looked at it, and by the way, this is homecoming for Ryan Hamilton, the Liberty Creek assistant, who was the White House coach last year and years before. Yeah, they took East Robertson to overtime, defeated Sycamore, lost by 6 to Whites Creek. Both teams were shut out by Portland, and both teams shut out Greenbrier. So I think these teams are pretty close. I just feel like this is Liberty Creek's week.
Yeah, I mean, this was another tough one to pick. I just kind of like, I don't know why, but I like White House in this game. Think them being at home maybe a little bit plays into their favor, but I wouldn't be shocked to see this go the other way. Simple as that.
Yeah, you've already seen Liberty Creek and a couple nail biters. I think this is going to be another nail biter. I think ultimately White House's ability to hit big plays is going to be the difference in the football game.
Another lone wolf attempt, this time from Isaac. He's got Hendersonville over Station Camp while the rest of us have the Bison.
Isaac told me he had to take some shots this week. It's do or die week for him. So, and again, I could see this one going either way. I just really like Station Camp's offense. I think they get it figured out, even if the defense is struggling. I think their offense, Colton Overby, does enough for them to get over the hump here against Hendersonville and keep themselves in that position for a potential top 2 spot in the region.
Yeah, I think this game is close up until about into the third quarter when Station Camp really their offense starts to pull away. If they get a lead and are able to move it to, especially if it gets up to more than one score, I think they're going to be tough to put away. Like you said, Colton Overby, I expect him to have a solid day, but I expect Eric Ginter to be crucial to opening the ball up. If he can get a few balls out over the middle of the field, that's going to loosen so much stuff up for the running game.
Yeah, I just think what Station Camp's able to do from the offense side of the ball, I think they're able to outscore Hendersonville. I do think that Hendersonville will make it a ball game, and chances are that it will be a decently high-scoring football game. But Station Camp's offense is still really, really good, and I just couldn't go against that.
Yeah, curious to see how Station Camp's defense responds out of the bye week. They had a lot of trouble the last month or so stopping teams, and that week off was badly needed for them. If they can respond well, I think they can get the win in this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people are not going to like this next pick, as we've all got Green Hill over Lebanon.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to go with the team. I know Lebanon's had a great year. I'm going to go with the team that's dominated them in the last couple of years. Last year's was not a close game. I know Lebanon's much more improved this year, but you look at the schedules. I like what Green Hill's done, played a much tougher schedule to me. Nolensville and Wilson Central are really great wins for the Blue Devils, but I look at that Station Camp game in particular for Lebanon. They gave up 29 points to a Station Camp team that's really good offensively. They gave up a lot of points, and they had to outscore them. I don't know if they can outscore Green Hill's defense like they did against Station Camp. Amize, he's going to be – him and Guyan going at each other is going to be fun to watch. Cam, you're going to have a lot of fun there. But give me the Hawks, and they take sole possession of first place in this region.
I wanted to take Lebanon in this game so bad. I really did, and I just couldn't talk myself into it. And it's nothing against Lebanon, but what Cannon Burrows has been able to do and what this team has become since they took it on the chin at Ravenwood, they are playing at a different level right now. And I think that they're going to get pressure on Harrison. They're going to try to make this a ground game. And if they do, Green Hill may have them.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that Green Hill's first round week 1 matchup with Beach is the game that most people are going to look at here, just because of the physical run game that Lebanon brings is very similar to Beach's physical run game. It's a different kind of running back, though, in my opinion. I think Shelton Swafford kind of has a little bit more of the home run, whereas Azetta kind of hit you with the death by 1,000 cuts, so to speak. He's going to 3 and 4 yard you until you're sick and tired of it. But Joe, you kind of hit on it. Green Hill's offense they're really, really balanced with what Zach Cartwright's been able to do. They call him Piggy? Is that right?
Yeah.
He's a force when you get inside 2 yards to go. The tight end has had an unbelievable year for them. This Green Hill offense is very balanced, and it's the best offense that Lebanon has seen up to this point. Lebanon's going to have to out Green Hill to win this football game. They're going to have to potentially hit an onside kick or a trick play or something to swing this one, in my opinion.
Glencliff, last week I did get a little bit concerned with, or 2 weeks ago with Green Hill. I mean, they were only up 7 on a Glencliff team that we all expected them to beat by a lot, and they ended up doing it. But you cannot get off to a slow start in this one if you're Green Hill. Lebanon will make you pay, but Cannon-Burroughs is a difference here. And I think Zach Cartwright, he kind of establishes himself in this game as a name that we keep an eye on going forward, not only this year, but next year.
Yeah, I'm like Scott. I almost went with Lebanon. I just couldn't quite get all the way there. If I'm Lebanon, certainly using this as motivation and definitely want to prove us wrong. It's a very talented team over there, but I just feel like Green Hill is really hitting its stride at this point in the season, and it's going to be hard to beat them, especially at home. Scott, who did Butch take this week?
I'm just about ready for this week's pick. I believe Butch will be making the pick. Our game of the week this week is Green Hill and Lebanon. And we're going to be picking shortly. All right. Release the hound, or the cat, as it be. He was a little sluggish. Releasing. Here he comes. That didn't take long at all. Butch has selected the Hawks from Green Hill.
That's great.
Good job, Butch.
That's the one that hasn't gotten anything right.
And he didn't understand the assignment up until now. He had been choosing the loser of the games.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations on your win, Lebanon.
You'll get your apology from Cam.
Whoa.
You're there.
Isaac is too.
All right, yeah, that's all the picks for this week. Should be a fun one. Looking forward to getting out of some games. Last word before kickoff, guys. Scott, I'm gonna let you lead off tonight.
Oh boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about a few of the unsung heroes of high school football on Friday nights. These are the people that without whom we would not have the game that we love operate with such efficiency and accuracy. So first up, the chain crew. These people whose sole job is to make sure the teams have accurate line to gain. And in some cases, sacrificing their own safety so that grown men can whine and cry about the spot. These men have to stay in top shape going up and down the field. And they love to see big plays because no one hates to see a long run in short of the goal line like these guys. Next up is the PA announcer. Sometimes news, sometimes entertainment. These people have the responsibility of keeping us situationally aware of the down distances and the who's and the how much of plays. Their witty banner when a team's behind lift our spirits, saying things like it's third and Mount Juliet when the team is actually heading clearly to Gallatin, or making sure that you know what kind of first down it is with it's Joe's Tire Center and Nail Salon first down. The inflatable helmet master, 10 to 12 times a year. These inflatable engineers have the responsibility of ensuring that the team's entrance looks spectacular and does not fall victim to ID or inflatable dysfunction. There's nothing more disheartening than watching your inflatable fail to maintain its stamina. You got the stage for 5 minutes. Work your magic. And then the concession grill master. The concession grill master is the Iron Chef of football fare, ruling his grill with his trusty spatula and his secret recipe of seasoning, flipping hundreds of burgers during the course of the afternoon with military precision before handing his aluminum tray off to assembly. Able to talk ball at the same time he manages medium-grade meat, he earns the awe of everyone. Just don't ask for anything other than well done. Seriously. We can make fun and joke, and let's not forget, reporters are as much of a joke as anyone. But seriously, next time you go to a game, look around at all the people who volunteered to make it happen. The people that sacrifice their hours and their time for the kids to be able to play. Then be happy you can enjoy it. That's worth the price of admission, isn't it?
Cam, you're up.
Yeah, Joe kind of preluded to it a little bit. There will be shakeup this week. Maybe not anyway. We picked all top 10 games the same, but there is 6 games we picked different that you can see tomorrow on our website, 615preps.com. Those will be released at what time, Chris?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. You can see which 6 games we picked differently on. I know one of them, I can't help but to pick Narnia. They're going to win at some point. Who knows? But beside the point, guys, it's starting to feel more like fall weather. Team seasons are winding down that are not going to be in the postseason. Players are going to be playing their last games. Make sure that you pick those players up. Make sure you celebrate those players, win or lose. Make sure you thank officials, sort of as what Scott was getting to. At the end of the day, guys, we're over halfway through. This thing's going to go by super fast, unfortunately. Enjoy it as much as you can, and don't sweat. It's a football game. It's a game. It's not a life or death situation. So have fun, enjoy it. If you see us out at the game, say hi. If we picked against your team, do not cuss us out. Do not be mean to us. It's nothing personal. Okay? So just relax.
Hey, I love that he's calling Trousdale County Narnia. You've got him convinced that it's not real. Pretty soon he's going to be checking his diploma to make sure it's not a GED.
Whoa.
Well, he's leaned into it.
He has no choice.
Yeah. I mean, what the heck am I supposed to do here?
To echo Cam, just know that if I do pick against your team, I actually do hate them, obviously. That's what we do this for. No, it's dumb. We don't hate your team. That's a dumb way to look at it. They're picks. You got to pick games. That's how it goes. Into the Hive episode 4 was supposed to come out tomorrow, but technology hates me. I can't get certain videos pulled over, so it'll either come out this weekend or early next week. Chris is going to help me with that, focusing on the men that lead the program as much as they probably don't want to hear that. This is a coach-focused episode. It's how I've got it. I'm really enjoying it. We got some big plans prep for next season and for basketball season as well. Basketball's right around the corner, folks. Just a couple weeks. And did you pick against technology? Technology picks against me every week, Matt. But no, enjoy it. We're in week 9, as sad as that is. I hate it. But really good games. You see us, say hi. Be nice. Just know that it's football. We don't get paid to pick against your team, despite what some people think. So stay safe out there, everyone, and enjoy week 9.
Yeah, we definitely don't get paid to pick against your team. So let's make that very abundantly clear right now. Now, this season's been fun because it's given us an opportunity to talk about some different programs that we haven't necessarily mentioned in previous seasons. Going to Grace Christian for the first time Friday night, that ought to be interesting and fun. And I know that these other guys are excited about where they're going too. It's a good time to be a football fan. Weather's starting to turn a little bit better, and the playoff races are heating up. This playoff format that we're going to have this year. It's going to be different. So it's certainly an interesting season to check this thing out. And I know a lot of times we take a lot of shots at teams, all in good fun, but it's really about the people that are watching tonight that make this happen. If you guys aren't watching, it's not happening. So it's really a sincere thank you to all of you who tune in and talk about this stuff. It's a lot of fun to do, and we're going to keep doing it for you as long as we can, and enjoy it, have fun with it. It's the most fun when the players lean into it. I know by the apologies and everything, and it's guys are enjoying it and they're not taking it too seriously, and that's when it's the best. When you don't take it too seriously, it's a fun time. So my advice is keep it that way, and let's just enjoy the ride, because it's going to be a fun ride to Chattanooga. And I hope you stay with us. And yeah, we're done for tonight. Scoreboard Show, 9 o'clock Saturday. Make sure that you're joining us then for all the highlights and scores from around the area. We'll be on at 9 o'clock, and then back here a week from tonight, 7 p.m., 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks, to talk about Week 10. As crazy as that sounds, we're at that point. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And for all of us here at 615 Preps, thanks for watching the 615 Preps Live, presented by AccuWorks. We will see you Saturday morning. Enjoy the games this weekend, and stay safe out there. Have a good one.
Crown him.
Go Vols.